Hello everyone, I am back again with a new video, and for a surprise, this video will be about the circulatory system. I know you all will be shocked that and when I'm discussing the strategies for CUET and how you can pursue economics honors, and then I'm posting a video on circulatory system that is a topic related to biology. But I'll tell you all that biology, or either it be the any subject of PCB or humanities, I have love for all the subjects, and basically the circulatory system. So I'll be just discussing with you, in a very short and a very crisp, precise manner. So I hope you'll like my video. Now, when we are talking about the circulatory system, it is divided into two. One is the blood vascular system and the other is the lymphatic system. But my today's video will just consist of the blood vascular system. Now, blood vascular system, we'll take the keyword. I'll be talking about the keyword that is the blood groups, the blood vessels, and the most important organ of our body, that is the heart. Starting with the blood. So blood, as we all know, is a liquid connective tissue, and it is made up of plasma and the blood corpuscles. Plasma, when we are talking about the plasma, later on we'll talk about the corpuscles, blood corpuscles. When we are talking about the plasma, it is made up of 90 to 92% water, and the rest 6 to 8 proteins, which mainly consist of fibrinogen, globulins, and albumins. Fibrinogen, it forms fiber around the wound. Suppose if you have a wound, if you've got a cut around, then the wound which forms the clot, the fibers it forms, and the clot is there, so it helps in the blood clotting. That is a fibrinogen. Talking about the globulins, it helps in the defense mechanism, and albumins, it helps in the osmotic balance. I hope I don't need to tell you about the osmosis or something else, because it will go in a greater detail, but I am telling you the gist. Right, now coming to the next one, that is the blood corpuscles. These are the red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles, and the blood platelets. Red blood corpuscles, as we all know, it is the erythrocytes, white blood corpuscles, leukocytes, and blood platelets are the thrombocytes. Right, so red blood corpuscles, they help to carry the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the whole from the body to different parts of the heart, and the vice versa. And then the white blood corpuscles, they help in killing the bacteria, the harmful bacteria, or fighting against the diseases. And the blood platelets, they help in the clotting. And don't confuse the fibrinogen with the thrombocytes or the blood platelets. It's a difference between the two, right? Because the fibrinogen they are found in the plasma, whereas this is the corpuscle. These are the corpuscles, and it helps in the blood clotting. Right, now this was the everything about the blood. We'll be moving further. Thing clicks in our mind that how is the blood group defined? We all say that, oh, you are B positive or AB positive, negative, O positive. So we all talk in our everyday life. So we'll be talking that how it is. Basically, for a matter of fact, today I'll tell you that these blood groups, they are basically of two kinds. That is, one is the ABO group and the other is the RH group. I'll come later to the RH group. First I'll be talking about the ABO group. Right, so basically the how it is defined, I'll tell you now. The ABO group, that is, there are on the red blood corpuscles, there are two antigens found, that is antigen A and antigen B. Now, if a person has antigen A on his RBC, then he is of blood group A. If he has B, he is of blood group B. If he has both, then he is blood group AB. And if he has no antigen, then he is of blood group O. Right? So now we'll be talking about the person who is of blood group AB. He is known as the universal recipient because he can take blood from any blood group, right? And the person who is of blood group O, he is known as the universal donor because he can give blood to any blood group but can accept the blood of only O. And in the same way, the blood group, a person with blood group AB can only give blood to the person of AB. This was the thing. Now coming to the RH factor, this is something I suppose new, but it's the same. Like RH factor, this was RH is the derived from the rhesus factor. This is the rhesus factor. So rhesus factor, it was earlier found in a monkey which was known as the rhesus monkey, this RH factor. And you will be shocked that RH factor is found in 80% of humans. And there's one more important thing to look at, that an RH positive and negative blood should be matched before the transfusion. A special case of RH incompatibility has been observed between the RH negative blood of a pregnant mother with the RH positive blood of the fetus. RH antigens of the fetus do not get exposed to the RH negative blood of the mother in the first pregnancy, as the two bloods are well separated by the placenta. However, during the delivery of the first child, there is a possibility of exposure of the maternal blood to a small amount of the RH positive blood of the fetus. This could be fatal for the baby, and it could lead to severe anemia and jaundice to the baby, and this condition is known as erythroblastosis fetalis. Right, so now we'll be coming to the next thing. So we are done with the blood groupings, that is ABO and the RH factor. Now we will coming to the most important topic, that is the blood vessels. We all know, now we'll start that the arteries carry the oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood, the name suggests in itself that the blood which carries oxygen, right? So these arteries carry the oxygenated blood from the heart to different parts of the body, and veins carry the deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body to the heart. Now, it's not as simple as that. It has more bifurcations. Like, firstly, the artery. Right, but before telling you the more bifurcations, I'll tell you that the only exception in the arteries which carry the deoxygenated blood, it is the pulmonary artery. I know this word might sound big, pulmonary artery, but I'll tell you in my later this video that what is this pulmonary artery actually. Just remember this in mind. And then the only vein which is an exception which carries the oxygenated blood is the pulmonary vein. Now, looking at that, we're coming to the point is the arteries, they divide into arterioles, and these arterioles further divide into capillaries. Now, capillaries, they form venules, and then these venules, they form veins. Now, these veins carry the deoxygenated blood back to the heart, and the arteries carry the oxygenated blood from the heart to different parts of the body. So this was the thing. Now, coming to the one of the most important topic, that is the heart. Heart is something which is very important. We all know, throughout the organ which works throughout our life, and we'll start with that. So yes, heart, as we all know, it is of the size of the clenched fist, right? Then if we are talking about the heart, first we should know about the whole structure of the heart. So heart, let's not talk about directly jump to the human heart, just have an idea that the fish has two-chambered heart, and the other amphibians and reptiles, just excluding exception is the crocodile, they have three-chambered heart, and the crocodile, birds and humans, they have four-chambered heart, right? So now we'll coming to the human heart, basically to the human heart, because this is my topic of discussion. So when we are coming to the human heart has four chambers. The two upper smaller chambers are the atrium or the auricles, and the two lower chambers are the ventricles. The lower, or the you will say the lower and the larger chambers, these are the ventricles, right? So the upper left is the left atrium, then the right atrium, upper right atrium, niche it's the ventricle, right ventricle, and the left ventricle. Now the heart is surrounded by a membrane which is known as the pericardium, and it has the pericardial fluid. Then if we are talking about the left atrium and the left ventricle is separated by the bicuspid valve, and the right atrium and right ventricle are separated by the tricuspid valve. This is the thing. Then again, septum which separates the right atrium and the left atrium, it is known as the interatrial septum, and the septum which separates the right ventricle and left ventricle, it is the interventricular septum. this was the thing. This is, I suppose, something in a just about what is the chambers of the heart and how it is made up of. Now I'll be talking about the function, the double circulation in our body. What is the double circulation, you might be thinking of? So it's very simple. The blood, we all know the blood, it passes through the heart in two phases, two times. So this is known as the double circulation. Now when we are coming to the double circulation, then what are these are two types. So first is the systemic circulation and the other is the pulmonary circulation. So when we are talking, let's talk first about the systemic circulation. Systemic circulation, it's made up of, it starts from the heart to different parts of the body, and on the other hand, pulmonary circulation, it's a link between the heart and the lungs. Now coming to the systemic circulation, right? So systemic circulation, let's start from here. Make a picture, a concept clear in your mind. Let's see, just look at your heart. It's here on the left hand side. When you're here looking here, the oxygenated blood, I repeated in my whole video that oxygenated blood, right? So oxygenated blood from the lung, because lung purifies the blood. So oxygenated blood from the lungs comes to the left atrium, then it goes to the left ventricle, and from that left ventricle there is one largest artery. The largest artery's name is aorta. Through the aorta, it goes to different parts of the body. From the different parts of the body, now the veins carry the deoxygenated blood, and this deoxygenated blood goes back to the heart, to the right atrium. Just remember this word, through the right atrium, and from this right atrium, these right atrium, right? And just one more thing, that this vein which carries the deoxygenated blood to the right atrium is the superior and inferior vena cava. So from this right atrium, it goes to the right ventricle, and from there now the pulmonary, from here the pulmonary circulation starts. From this right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. I told you the only exception which carries the deoxygenated blood, the only artery as an exception which carries the deoxygenated blood from here. So the pulmonary artery, it carries the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs, and from the lung it gets purified again. This purified, that oxygenated blood, goes to the heart through the pulmonary vein to the left atrium. So from here, this from pulmonary artery to the pulmonary vein, and when it reaches the left atrium, this whole circulation is the pulmonary circulation. And from the heart to the different parts of the body, that was the systemic circulation. This, I suppose, it's clear. So now I'll be talking about the cardiac cycle and how it takes place. So it's very easy. You will be looking at the diagram here, which is mentioned here. So when you are looking here, we know that the auricles, they contract first to pump blood into the ventricles, which relax at the same time to let in the blood. The ventricles contract with a greater force almost immediately after and push the blood into the aorta and the pulmonary artery. I hope it is clear, because aorta, that means the left ventricle will pump blood into the aorta and the right ventricle will pump blood into the pulmonary artery. Next, the auricles relax to let in blood from the superior and inferior vena cava and the pulmonary veins. This entire process takes place less than a second and is called the cardiac cycle. The rhythmic contraction of the heart muscles is called the heartbeat, and the cardiac cycle is repeated with each and every heartbeat. So this was the whole concept which I was telling you. So I hope this whole process was clear. Of course, there are many things, like there are many diseases related to the heart, the cardiac arrest, or the high blood pressure. This was just about everything, that how the double circulation takes place, what is the cardiac cycle, what is the blood groups, and each and everything about it. So this was the thing, and I hope you liked it. So thank you so much. Bye bye.